Hi everyone, my name is CHENG, and in this video, my group member and I will explaining caveat and prohibited order. Okay, so this is our group member. The first one is CHENG, which is me, and second one is Gong Hee. Then we have Haikal, ANDERSEN, and JENGGIE and KEAT. Okay, basically this is the content. We have the heading, which instructions, and the body content, and we have the ending with the conclusions.
What is land law? Land law, as the name suggests, is the set of rules that govern the land. When we referring to laws to do with land usage, the term they use is land law. It focuses upon the uses and supply of land. Land law facilitates how an owner of land may use it so this relation can develop into interest in the land. Land law determines what interests there are in the land and what a person can do with the land. Land law is crucial and plays a fundamental role in land development of a country. Land development refers to a complex process that involves improving and transforming area of land into development parcels for various purposes, such as residential, commercial, industrial, or recreational use. The following are the importance of land law in land development. First is orderly development. Land law includes provision for land use, planning, and zoning regulations. This helps the government in organizing urban and rural spaces. Second is public project. Land laws enable government to acquire land for public projects. For example, government build roads, schools, and utilities for the public good. Third is cultural significance. Land laws include provision for the protection of culturally significant sites, such as Air Formosa Malacca. This helps preserving historical landmarks and maintaining a connection to cultural identity.
Okay, so the topic for this video is restraint on dealing, which is a caveat and prohibited order, and the video outline is presentations and role play.
Oh, hey Haikal.
Hey,
I was looking at this property I want to buy, but I just found out there's a caveat on the title.
oh, you say caveat.
Yeah, what,
Okay.
what does that mean?
A caveat is going to be a problem for you because in land law, it means that if other people have interest in your property, you cannot buy it until you sort this out.
Oh, I see. Alright.
Oh, caveats. Yeah, I know that. It's like no entry sign for you, which means you can buy a property.
Alright.
Oh, so let's say you want to buy the place, but someone else with a claim on it, and you can just go ahead and buy it.
Exactly, Ke. In Malaysia, a caveat is like a block on the sale completely. So no one can buy this property.
So let's say if someone places a caveat on the property, you need to wait for them to sort out the business, then only you'll be able to carry out furthermore business on the property, right?
It's basically a legal post button for the property until whoever plays the caveat clear it out.
So I just need to wait for them to sort things out.
Yes, it's going to be pain, but it's very important. This is so no one can take advantage of the claim for the land until this caveat is completed.
Alright, I guess that I need to be patient. Alright, thanks guys.
Hi, in this part, I'll explain an important land provision in property law, which is called as caveat. So what actually is a caveat? Caveat is a formal legal notice to inform the public that someone has a claim on a specific property. The main functions of a caveat are: first, to prevent the registration of any dealings over the land; second, to serve as a notice that the caveat has a legal right to the land. The last is to maintain the status quo until the legal issue is resolved. In national land court, there are four categories of caveats, which are registered caveat, private caveat, landholder caveat, and trust caveat. Now, let's look at the basic content of a land provision in caveat. First, details of land the caveat is lodged against. Second, the grounds for your claim. Third, the relevant fee required for submission. And the last is the name or signature as the applicant.
Okay, so caveats can categorize into two: public caveats and private caveats. Okay, so the public caveat is entered by the register, which the land office for official purposes use only. On the other hand, public caveat is entered by the public person who have interest on the land to protect their rights. Okay, so basically the definition of caveat is like caveat is like a sign that telling the public that the land cannot be transferred or do any transaction like buying or selling. Okay, so basically how caveats are entered. Okay, people who have interest in the land, uh, they can they can apply for the caveats even if they are not the register. For example, a buyer who have paid deposit but haven't received title. Okay, so how caveats is removed? We have three ways. First is the people who enter the caveats, they can withdraw the caveats via Form 19G. The second one is removed by the registrar, which is the land office. The third one is removed by the court order. Okay, so what is the procedure of applying for a caveat? The first one is you must ensure you have the legal basis to lodge a caveat, which means you need to be the person who have interest on the land that you want to apply for the caveat. Okay, the second step is to prepare the necessary documents such as Form 19B, and the the third one is to submit the caveat application at the land office, and fourth one is the land office will register the caveats, and last one is to check the validity and expiry of the caveats. Basically, we have public caveats and private caveats. Basically, private caveats usually last for 6 years.
Now, let's see how land provision like caveat and prohibitory order impacts the land development. First, for caveat, it protects the developer interest in a piece of land. For example, in the case of Yong Huat Realty versus Malacca Properties, the developer lodged a caveat after signing a sales agreement to ensure that the seller couldn't transfer the land to anyone else. Not only that, caveat also can delay acquisition. If a third party has lodged a caveat, the landowners or developer can't proceed with transfer or loan until it is clear.
We are here to address the prohibitory order placed on Cho's property. Haikal, as the plaintiff, please explain why you have requested this order.
Your Honor, Cho owes me a significant amount of money. I've asked the court to issue a prohibitory order to prevent him from selling his property to anyone else except me until the debt is paid.
Yeah, it's to ensure that Cho doesn't sell the property to another buyer and avoid paying his debt. The order is to make sure that only Haikal can proceed with the purchase until this matter is resolved.
I understand, My Honor, but I'm supposed to sell my property to pay my bills.
We understand, Your Honor, but Cho is trying to get back on his feet and he will settle the debt as soon as possible.
We ask the court to consider a timeline for Cho to settle his debt and lift the order if possible.
I understand the prohibitory order remains in place for now, and Cho's property can only be sold to Haikal. The court will review this matter again once the debt is addressed. Court is adjourned.
As for prohibitory order, it is a court order that freezes land transaction. This usually happens when there is a dispute over land ownership or the title validity. It stops the landowner or developer from selling, transferring, or even continuing with their development activities. Not only that, it deters investors and financiers because land under a prohibitory order is seen as high risk. So developer often can't get loans since banks won't accept disputed land as collateral. While joint ventures fall through because partners don't want to be tied to a risky or frozen asset. And even government agencies may refuse to approve a development until the order is lifted.
Okay, so what is the procedure of lodging a prohibited order? Basically, the public person, they doesn't have the right to lodging a prohibited order because it usually lodged by the land office and the court. Okay. Okay, the first step is the land office will investigate and justification the needs for the restrictions, and the second step is the land office will register the record of the prohibited order, and the third one is the land office will send a notification to the landowner which the prohibited order is lodging on the land of the landowners, and the landowner can appeal or apply for removal of the prohibited order. Okay, so in conclusion, land laws serve as a virtual pillar in the regulations and development of land. It ensuring that the land provision follows the legal procedure to promote responsible growth. In short, or in other words, land law is for justice. Okay, it's for justice of the land.